Yes, thank you, Eric, and hello, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be back at Finovate, and we have some exciting things to share with you this afternoon. But first, let me give you a brief background on Meniga. We're a Scandinavian provider of white-label personal finance management, or PFM, solution to retail banks. Our sole focus is helping retail banks get PFM right and realizing business benefits from implementing it. We first launched our PFM solution in Iceland in 2009, where we now have over 15% of all households using this solution. And across the board, we're seeing industry-leading engagement and adoption metrics, with many people using the PFM solution much more than they use the rest of the online bank combined. We're also happy to tell you that we've made a lot of progress since standing here 1 year ago. And we're now implementing our solution with the leading banks in several new markets, including Germany, Sweden, Norway, Finland, and others. Last year, we demoed our core PFM solution and emphasizing our insight section and how we're using social engagement to increase the mass appeal of the solution. We showed how we're using social curiosity, gamification, humor, and other things to increase engagement and bring users insights, meaningful insights into their financial lives as part of a well-designed PFM application. And we launched this with a couple of banks last year, and I'm happy to tell you that we've seen that this works. We've seen significant increase in engagement since launching this. This year, however, we have something, we want to show you something different. Most banks that have offered PFM to date, they keep it separate from their core online bank. It's usually a separate section or a tab within the online bank. There hasn't been a lot of mix. And that's a great first step, but we believe, however, that the online and mobile banks of the future will have power of PFM embedded into almost every function of the online bank, to make it much more user-friendly, but mainly to make it much more intelligent about users' financial lives. And at the same time, it will be a very powerful marketing platform for the banks, where they can bring highly personalized and relevant recommendations to their customers. So we're really excited to show for the first time some of the things we are working on this front with some of our partners. So here's a preview of a tighter integration between PFM and online banking. Einar just logged into the online bank of Íslandsbanki, our oldest customer. And first, let's look at how his account balance is presented. So there at the right, he sees his total current account balance broken down by account, nothing new there. But Einar knows that he can't safely spend all of this money because he has both bills and transfers scheduled before he gets his next salary payment. So that's why we list all the scheduled payments next to his current account balance. And that brings us to the concept of uncommitted balance, which is his total balance minus the scheduled payments. So this is the money that he can safely spend. Now, some of you might recognize that this is similar to Bank Simple's Safe to Spend balance, but in this case, it's in the context of the next payday as seen by the PFM system, and also we put it in context to Einar's average spending of, in this case, £630 until he next gets paid. Next, we have a simple yet really powerful notification system designed to bring people a peace of mind. It's also intended to help people automate routine tasks in online banking. So the first alert that Einar sees there is related to the uncommitted balance that I mentioned, that it's getting low compared to his usual spending. And he's at the same time offered immediately to take corrective action. So he can transfer money from savings, he can request overdraft, he can set up a backup funding source, or he can choose to do nothing if he thinks it's okay. Another alert tells him that there's a bill scheduled for payment from his wife's current account. It's her phone bill. But she has no funds in the account. She recently went back to school and therefore has no regular income. So At the same time, Einar is offered to transfer the money, but to avoid doing this every month, he can also schedule a matching transfer that always matches the date and the amount of this particular bill to increase automation. Finally, we have an alert that tells Einar that he didn't meet his target contribution to his vacation to Stockholm goal. Now, he can transfer money to fund his goal or set up recurring savings. But on the topic of goals, let's look at how his savings, Einar's savings are presented. Just like we're separating the current account balance into the uncommitted balance and what's set aside for scheduled payments, we have separated his savings into what's allocated to specific goals or purpose and what's just general savings, or what we call emergency fund here. We put the size of the emergency fund in context with his average spending. This covers him for 2 months and 1 week in this case. And we show what personal finance experts typically recommend in this case. You've seen savings goals before, but one thing that our bank partners particularly like is the ability to recommend the most appropriate savings product given the attributes of the goal, typically the time frame. So if Einar creates a goal to, let's say, Finovate Best of Show party, and he enters the amount and then either the monthly contribution or the time frame, and yeah, looks like we can't have the party yet, but I hope you still vote for us. But anyway, what I'm saying here is that you might have noticed that for this bank happens to have a term deposit account that offers this best rate for 2 years, and now that was automatically recommended. So that's all we have time for today. But if you're looking for the new face of online banking, I hope you'll come see us at the booth later. Thank you.